What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to come on here and get straight into it. If you want some more context, be sure to read the description below. As I'm editing this video outside, before I have a chance to put together all the clips, I look up and before me, in the grass of weeds, there are these white flowers. They're called a feverfew. When the grass reaches a certain height, the flowers bloom and the bees are able to get in there and do their thing, which is pollinate. Now, I believe a huge pitfall of mankind is failing to realize that we live not just to sustain ourselves, but also the many organisms that live around us. It is our jobs as guardians to maintain the nature and the level of sustainability around us so that not only our children and our friends and family can thrive, but also the organisms that live in accordance with us. While recording this, I decided to not only capture, which the video does a poor job at, because there's so many bees in the area, and watching them do their things on these flowers, I decided to get up and check out the banana flower, which you can see here. And of course, right on time, we got a little worker bee, and there she is doing her thing, collecting pollen and spreading it throughout the garden and bringing it back home to the hive. And really, that's what it's all about. And it's important to give context in that sense because I want everyone to understand that really it's not about anything else besides trying to live in accordance with the nature and the world around us. I wanted to show here the amount of rainwater that the property has the potential of gathering during the summer season. In the wet season, there's just no limit to the amount of rainwater that we could sustain ourselves on, as well as the garden, and again, the organisms that really need it critically in this dry season. Now, here I wanted to show the property and what it was looking like back in 2022. While I don't have full permission to turn every area into a gardening area or an area to grow food, I use what available space I have, and this video of the area in 2022 is just to show everyone more or less what the soil was looking like and what the yard was looking like, how it was mostly lawn and just area for weeds to grow, and how we changed that into basically an area to grow food, to return the soil to a thriving state. Here is the patch of yard that I slowed down the video to so you can see just how it was just grass at the time. And I was growing sweet potatoes back then and allowing the soil to sort of rework itself, which is, it takes time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But the idea is you start today to work towards something to better the future, not just for ourselves, but for the organisms around us. This is an Everglades tomato plant, which I was growing. I'm also doing some yard work. But here, I just wanted to show that same area. Now I have an avocado tree, a banana tree growing in some pots. And here is now the property in its current state. And now you can see that banana flower, which was shown earlier, attached to the banana tree, that is now in that area that once used to be a patch of grass. And it doesn't just provide sustenance via food for ourselves, but in ways that we can't even imagine, such as the roots that go underground that hold the soil into place that allow moisture retention. Also, the shade that the larger leaves provide for the underbrush to grow, protection from the harsh Floridian sun that we have down here. Also, balancing the pH levels of the soil via absorbing just the super harsh acidic chemicals, compounds, things that could be found in the soils. I often find myself not watering with the tap water because during the dry season I can find that the soil, it's just drying out due to the hard minerals and the chemical compounds found in our tap water through the hose. Here, that's why I've captured these videos of the amount of natural water that we get during the rain seasons. I also wanted to briefly talk about manifesting because I find, at least in my personal experience, a big hurdle of mine is needing or feeling like I need a mass amount of space or land to do certain things such as forage, and that's simply not the truth. Here's a video of me just behind my house finding a little bushel of lima beans, and I take it upon myself now to sort of traverse the areas that I do have in my yard to see just what is in my area and what I have available to me. And sure enough, I have these vines that crawl along the fence. And here you can see dried lima beans, which I will proceed to pick. And the dried beans can be used for storage. I mean, there's no limit to the amount of purposes that you can find for these. And whilst I don't know any recipes for lima bean casserole or anything like that, I took it upon myself to still harvest. And here you can see the dried lima beans and the raw young ones. And here's a hyperlapse video of just taking the time, 10 minutes out of my day, to organize, push back sort of these bushels of vines, looking for the young, fresh ones to put into a little bag, and grabbing the old, dried ones to put into my pocket. But something as simple as this truly showed me that growing food, self sustainability, foraging, all the things that I really want in my life, they're obtainable. And so here's the fruit of my harvest. Here's all the green young ones that I gathered, and here are the dried ones, the red lima beans from the dried ones. And it's overall a pretty nice haul for a few minutes of foraging in my yard, I would say. I'm gonna find some recipes, although Enki doesn't look too impressed. I'd say still a good haul. And now I'll continue to put the green ones, I'll wash them, find something to do with them, and then here are the dried ones, and you can still see that they have they hold water, so there's some water retention, and you can see that they're a bit bigger than these, which are some lima beans that I've had that I harvested maybe a few weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago now, that have shriveled in size because they lost their water. But now I have a place to organize them and store them for later, just in case I would like to grow them, continue harvesting them, saving them, collecting them. This is one of the fresher ones compared to a dried one. And here I go on to show sort of my collection of beans that I have now been growing on the property. The lima beans I haven't directly sowed anywhere, but they grow on the property and I harvest them. And the small speckled ones I have grown for a few years now. As you can see, they're really small, but they're hardy and they do well during the dry seasons, during the wet seasons. So to conclude this video, I just wanted to make it clear that my dreams out of life, what I desire from this world, is to live accordance with the land, grow my own food, and for me it starts with this handful of seeds. And I appreciate you taking out time of your day to listen to my message, and I hope that we can grow together. Bless up and give thanks.